Okay, we're back. And so last time we had the good fortune of having you on, Ed. We were talking to a dear woman in her 80s who said, "Should I do a Roth conversion?" Your answer was something like, "No, you're too old. Spend it. Enjoy your money." Something like that. Then I think she called up the next day and she said, "Well, I'm not going to spend it, so I'm going to Roth it anyway." So we have a listener who has probably a similar question. So go ahead, Bruce. You're on with Ed Slott.
Okay, thanks, fellas. My question to you is if I'm 83 years old and whether I should do the Roth. And one other caveat, last year up to the 31 December, you didn't have to do a minimum distribution and you could do a direct Roth without doing a minimum distribution. So is that still available or that's gone?
First, that's gone. That was a special deal for last year, and that was a smart move you made. But the question whether to convert based on age in your 70s, 80s, and 90s, it really comes down to who are you doing it for? If you're doing it for yourself, paying the benefit of paying a tax up front, given the remaining, the cost, I should say, of paying the tax up front versus the benefit of having it compound for you is not great in your 80s or 90s. So if you're doing it though for your children or grandchildren, you're doing it for generations, even though they will still be stuck with the 10 years, but you're paying a tax bill for them. It's like a gift that they would have had to pay themselves if you didn't pay it for them. So it really depends who you're doing it for. If you're doing it for yourself, probably not a good idea to convert unless you can get some money out at low brackets, because that will save you taxes. But really, if you're doing it and you say, I don't need the money and it's going to go to the grandchildren anyway, then that would be a reason to convert. Also get it out at low rates. And then when the children inherit, even if they have to distribute it, withdraw it all in 10 years, it'll still grow for at least another 10 years tax-free to them. So they will remember the gift that you gave them of a tax-free inheritance.
Presently, like 10 and 8, they would have that. If something happened to me, that money would either go to the state until they became 18.
No, it never goes to the state. No. It's their money. The parent is probably the guardian and will watch out till they become, but it's not the state, it's their money. I don't want anybody to think that. Can you imagine that every time you name some grandchild as a beneficiary, it goes to the state? Who would ever do that?
Well, here's the other thing. If you're 83, Bruce, let's say you don't need the money and you're in a high estate tax bracket, by you doing a Roth, it brings your estate value down. So that could be one benefit. I mean, we've had people on after you've called and, they've had like $20 million in IRAs. They do the Roth to bring their tax.
That pays then, yeah.
Valuation. So if you're in that estate tax planning, and one of the things I really see the new president doing is bringing the estate tax threshold back to $6 million because it's much easier to tax dead people than living, right? So I could see you do Roths for estate planning purposes. Could also, here's another tip. If you do the Roth and you're 83 and let's say you live till you're 95, that's 12 years of tax-free growth. Then you have the 10-year spend down. So essentially that's 22 years of tax-free growth. So that could be a real benefit. And then when they do the 10-year spend down on the Roth, tell your heirs about it and have them, and then they do a 10-pay life insurance policy. There are policies where you pay for 10 years and then you're done. So essentially you have 22 years of tax-free growth in the Roth, and then you spend that down over the 10-year spend down when you pass your heirs, then buy life insurance on their lives. And you can set that all up in advance for them, so they don't have to think about it. Any comments on that, Ed?
Right. Every situation is different. Sure, if you have a big estate, the Roth is a great way to reduce your estate and pass more income tax-free money to your heirs.
No, fantastic. So, folks, get the book. Ed, I want you to show the
yeah,
book to
there it is
everybody.
again. Yeah.
The new retirement savings time bomb, fresh out. It's that's a great cover, Ed.
Yeah, they did a beautiful
Nice.
job on the colors. I mean, they really pop. I
Stands
like it.
out. It's beautiful. Nice font, everything. All
Yeah.
that stuff matters. The new retirement savings time bomb, how to take financial control, avoid unnecessary taxes, and combat the latest threats to your retirement savings. That is our free gift to you when you schedule and keep your no obligation review. So any websites promoting the book or just IRAhelp.com?
IRAhelp.com or type in Ed Slott. Very easy to find.
Wonderful. And if you don't want the free review where you get the book for free, you can always go to Amazon or wherever books are sold and buy the book. Also, support your local bookseller, right? So
Yeah.
many people do not support their local bookstores, so do that as well. Ask for Ed's book and go pre-order it today. Ed, thank you for joining us. And folks, call us now, 888-988-JOSH. We will give you the book for free, the new Retirement Savings Time Bomb, when you schedule and keep your obligation review now.
The preceding program was sponsored by the Jalinski Advisory Group. Any awards, rankings, or recognition by unaffiliated third parties or publications, including 5-Star Wealth Manager, Advisory of the Year finalist by Senior Market Advisor, and Top of the $1 Million Roundtable, are in no way indicative of the advisor's future performance or any individual client's investment success. No award, ranking, or recognition should be construed as a current or past endorsement of Josh Jalinski or Wealth Quarterback LLC. Information regarding specific awards, rankings, or recognitions is available on the Wealth Quarterback website at www.jalinski.org. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. Investment strategies such as asset allocation, diversification, or rebalancing do not assure or guarantee better performance and cannot eliminate the risk of investment losses. There are no guarantees that a portfolio employing these or any other strategy will outperform a portfolio that does not engage in such strategies. This broadcast should not be construed by any client or prospective client as a solicitation to effect or attempt to affect transactions in securities or the rendering of personalized investment advice. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions, the information discussed in this broadcast may no longer be reflective of current positions or recommendations. While information presented is believed to be factual and up to date, Josh Jalinski and Wealth Quarterback do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. The tax and estate planning information discussed is general in nature, is provided for informational purposes only, and should not be construed as legal or tax advice. Listeners should consult an attorney or tax professional regarding their specific legal or tax situation. Advisory services offered through Wealth Quarterback LLC.